York my whole life, so I've always been surrounded by people of color, people with similar cultural backgrounds to me. So I've always been aware of my Blackness, but it's never really affected me until I got to Fordham University. When I got here, I really realized the different world I was in, the different white world that I was in. I became the only Black person or the only Black woman in a majority of my classes, and that really shocked me a little bit. It was a completely new experience for me. It was the first time I truly felt out of place. So coming here at Fordham and being at a PWI really gave me a different perspective of not only myself, but the world that was around me.
I think it was like the first philosophy class that we had to take. I had cherry red hair, and I just looked around the room. I was literally the only Black girl in the room, and I come from a predominantly Black city, so it's kind of like, and I went to like a predominantly white school also, but like not seeing, I feel like a Black face in my class that didn't give me any comfort, and then talking, which is something totally different, because when I opened my mouth, everybody turned back and looked, so I was just like, ooh, hello.
So as an international student, what happens is first you come in and you come in with all the international students. So I'm thinking I'm coming in with diversity. When I look, only me and Baba Bolaga and Adona, we're the only Black people of all the international students. So when Fordham talks about like diversity, we're really not really speaking about diversity in terms of race.
It was just weird. Because I'm from Tennessee, like I'm not nowhere from here. It was like being at a PWI is vastly different from what I was used to.
I started off at the Lincoln Center campus, so there was a lot of more diversity over there. So I was chilling, you know. I didn't really people were complaining about like the diversity here. They said that there weren't a lot of Black people, but I didn't really see that at LC. You know, there wasn't a lot of Black people, but like there was a lot more diversity. But when I got to Rose Hill, I definitely saw the complaints, and I understand why people say that.
It was very indifferent. I went to predominantly white high schools. I went to predominantly white middle schools. So coming here wasn't such a culture shock to me. It kind of felt normal, kind of, to say the least. It was another way for me to continue to set myself apart and continue making strides in my family that, you know, I deserve to be here.
Like, I remember that time that, like, me, you, and Jess were in the student lounge, like, we were like laughing, like the shake the dreads thing, and then we took a video, and then in the back of the video you see like there was this group of like white people, and then they like looked at us type weird, but we didn't see it until
crazy.
Like after the video.
I remember that. They were looking at us like it's a student center.
Like we just having fun being with our friends, and then people around us like judging for no reason.
Like, I feel like with my professors, sometimes they look down at me, they try to act like I'm not as smart, or like for instance, like I have a big internship, and so I think sometimes people assume like I'm not smart, and then I have to I feel like I have to like express my credentials for them to like actually understand that I'm smart and that I belong here.
I have felt out of place being at PWIs. I think it's really hard to not have representation a lot of the time. Not seeing people who look like you in your classes is always something that is intimidating. So my experience is one that has been going on for years and years and years of navigating predominantly white spaces. So just staying true to myself and staying true to who I am.
Like when I go to the business school where it's like predominantly, I would say like white and Asian, that's where I start kind of noticing it, because I'll go to like classes or just business events, and I'll be like one of like 55 or even 100 students, and like the only person of color in that space.
It took me 2 years to realize that I can ask for help from my professors and like from teachers, just because I had the mentality of like, you can do it on your own, like you can figure it out, like whatever. But like, and I had to have someone tell me how like other students that go to this school, especially white students, will ask for help every time. So you need to be using your resources the same way they feel comfortable to do so. And that kind of put things into more perspective for me.
My high school is Fordham Prep, so I was pretty much aware of what I was going to get. They do their best with diversity, I guess, but a lot of the times you're going to be the only or I'm the only person of color in my class, or I can count them on one hand, like one of 3 or 2 of us. So I would say at this school, you're not really, if you're Black, you're not really gonna see yourself So I feel like you have to come here and you have to like know yourself. So like, yeah, write that down. yeah.
When I first came to Fordham, I did not speak up at all. I was scared to talk. I thought that they were gonna hear my voice, my New York accent, and I thought that everyone was gonna think that I was ghetto, right? But eventually, I started to really sit and think about it and realize that I earned my place here. I deserve to be here just as much as my white peers around me. And I started to gain more confidence in myself, and I started to realize that even though we may stand out, those are the very differences that make us unique. It's the very differences that make us special. There are so many Black people across campus that are doing great things, that are celebrating their achievements, showcasing their talents, living in their Blackness. And it just goes to show that despite the fact that we may be in spaces that we stand out, or we may be in spaces that aren't necessarily created for us, our success and our talent simply can't be overlooked. We're here, we're thriving, and we're making our mark.
Blackness, that Black power, that Black pushing them to identify with Black culture. I think that's what you're asking. I have no choice over it. In the first place, to me, we are the most beautiful creatures in the whole world, Black people. I mean, and I mean that in every sense, outside and inside. And to me, we have a culture that is surpassed by no other civilization, but we don't know anything about it.
Embracing our Blackness is essential. We move beyond merely surviving, and now we're trying to live fully and joyously. Loving being Black in a world that has often made the very living a challenge is important. Loving our Blackness means taking back our story and shaping it with our own hands, turning our struggles into a proud story of who we are. It's about celebrating strength even when things are hard. The journey of loving ourselves and living together is more than just for us individually. It's about us as community. We are shaping generations to come and telling them and showing them how we have loved ourselves and how they can do the same.
Why do I love being Black? I mean, I feel like that's kind of something. I mean, you're different.
Gotta love the culture.
Culture. The culture.
Our culture.
Culture. Best thing about it.
The food we eat, the dances we dance, the celebration, even how we're named. It's just so beautiful.
You know, you can't go wrong with, you know, Afro-American, Afro-Latina, Afro anything, you know.
The music, the food, the energy, like I feel like being Black is just great. Like it's so much fun. It's just so much fun. Like, I don't know, it's lit.
I like that instant connection with a Black person that you get. Like you can just look, you don't know them at all. You can just look at them, you can give each other the same look.
Just being able to see somebody that's like me and be able to just bond with them, even though I never met them before, but it's just an underlying bond just from being Black.
Being able to like have shared experiences and be able to just like connect despite coming from just so many different like backgrounds.
I think it's just a legacy part of it. So like being Black, I just know I come from people who will push through anything and fight and are determined. So that pushed me to be determined and fight every day. So that's probably the biggest part.
I like how we've used our pain and created beauty.
In a weird way, I like being the only the Black person in the room sometimes. Just because like, if I stand out, they'll remember me more than another white student, you know?
Enjoying our presence, like we come together more than any other culture, and I think that's very special.
I live unapologetically Black. I feel like by just doing my own thing and having confidence, and like having that community, that Black community around me, makes me that much more confident. And like for me personally, like for my art, it's to feel free to express that and not feel, you know, judged or anything.
I kind of try to just like share my culture and my experience with everybody. So like, you know, I put people onto certain songs. I be bringing certain dishes sometimes. I be letting them try it because it's like, you know, I still gotta maintain that in me. I can't just let it, you know, fly out.
I have created an amazing community, even though that it is small in a PWI, it is mighty. I think staying really true to who I am as somebody who is Black and finding other people who love their Blackness, it kind of spreads and it radiates.
Being in like the BLACC Social or like Black Student Association, any of those, it really helps with like promoting your own blackness.
I have like this feeling at the back of my head that it's like, I'm not supposed to be here. Like, I'm not supposed to be here, which is why I'm supposed to like fulfill like graduating and whatnot. Those are just things that like we don't really see in our communities nowadays. So it's like knowing that I'm here, that I just know that I have something bigger to fulfill.
It's like seeing the positive and being different always helps me. Like, I make the conscious decision to like barely straighten my hair because I feel like I should own it. And when somebody makes a comment, I just see it as like, oh, like they wish that was me. So,
you know, taking pride in my hair and my skin tone and my hair is like big things, and just holding on to that and not letting like what society thinks of a certain hairstyle like change me.
I live and love my blackness at Fordham by literally just being me. And it took me a while to get here, but like y'all can ask anybody, I'm never gonna change who I am. I'm not gonna change how I talk. I love being black. I express how I'm black through my music, my clothes, the new hairstyles every other week. Like, I love being black, and can't nobody take that from me, whether it's here at Fordham or outside of Fordham. So I'm gonna be black at the end of the day, and that's on period.
One of my favorite memories about being black at Fordham is definitely attending Casa Noir.
Casa Noir.
Casa Noir.
Shout out Casa. I think that was so black and so unapologetically black.
I never really experienced anything like that like on campus, so it was a very like special night.
It's a beautiful experience of everyone just like supporting creativity, black creativity, and just living in love.
The first BLACC Social party. Seeing all us together, like having fun on some good vibes, like that's all I could ever ask for. Even on the weekends, like when we do see each other, and it's just nothing but good vibes with the black people. We could just be on the corner, but we gonna make it fun for us.
I would say like freshman year, we had Night at the Hill right here in the gym with ASAP Ferg. I thought that was really fun. It was cool to like see our whole community come together and be lit, and it felt like a real college experience.
They're incoming black students at Fordham.
Continue to set yourself apart. Continue to showcase other people that you are black, you are intelligent, you are beautiful, you are more than capable to do anything that you want to do.
Speak up. Because I feel like my freshman year, sophomore year, hell, even my junior year, I did not speak up. I have a very hard time making friends. So I feel like one rule would definitely be to speak up, put yourself out there. And it's okay to be rejected. It's okay to not fit in all the time, but definitely put yourself out there and speak up.
Stay true to yourself. Make sure you stay close to your roots, know who you are, because when you know who you are, it's hard for society, the white society, to tell you who you are and try to fit you in a box.
You gotta just be confident in yourself, like know who you are off rip, and don't change that up for nobody. Like, be the best version that you can be. Don't be like who you think people expect you to be or what you think will work at a PWI.
Like, don't get discouraged. Like, you will find your people. Like, you definitely will find your people. Just give it time.
If you're in a room and you feel like you're the minority, don't make yourself small, but make yourself bigger. You deserve to be here and you deserve to have a voice. And you should always, always stand up for yourself. Never let them make you feel small, and find your people.
You're meant to be here. You're not just here because of like a token. And you're created for excellence. So just show them.
To all my black peers and community, I want to encourage you all to embrace and celebrate in your blackness deeply. It's not just a part of who we are, but it's a form of resilience. It's a type of armor that protects us and empowers us in spaces that we aren't always welcomed in. This is one of the main reasons why I formed the BLACC Social. Our goal is to create a space and an environment where people can be themselves, where people can live in their blackness, where they can find community, find a family. The BLACC Social provides a space where we can be unapologetically black in a place and in a world that often limits how we show up. So live and love in your blackness freely, and happy Black History Month.
Stand by, choir, come here. Oh